A very good day to everyone. I am Dr. Ramya, a postgraduate from Department of DVL, Narayana Medical College, Nellore. Today, I am here to discuss about World Leprosy Day. World Leprosy Day is observed internationally every year on the last Sunday of January in order to create public awareness regarding leprosy. This date was chosen as 30th January in our country as a tribute to the life of Mahatma Gandhi ji because he had great compassion for the people afflicted with leprosy. Leprosy is one of the oldest recorded diseases in the world. It is mainly caused by a bacillus which is known as Mycobacterium leprae. It is also known as Hansen's disease, named after the scientist who discovered its causative organism in 1873. Leprosy is a chronic disease. It's an infectious disease mentioned earlier due to Mycobacterium leprae. The unique feature of this bacteria is that it multiplies very slowly. It has an incubation period of about 5 years. So, the symptoms in the affected patients can either occur within a period of 1 year or may they take as long as 20 years or more. So, it is very important to know the myths and to know the facts associated with the disease. We have to give importance to the facts rather than the myths. Leprosy mainly affects the skin and nerves mainly in the cooler parts of the body such as hands, feet and face. It also tends to affect the mucosa of the respiratory tract and even eyes. How is this disease transmitted? Leprosy is mainly transmitted through the droplets from the nose and mouth in patients with untreated lepra reaction with prolonged contact. Here you have to give emphasis to the word untreated because if a patient is diagnosed early and if he started on treatment, at first what happens, we can prevent the complications of the disease in early stages and further the transmission of the disease can also be prevented. So, early diagnosis and treatment helps indirectly in decreasing the incidence of the new cases. On the other hand, in the case of untreated cases, there is progressive and slow damage mainly to the skin, nerves and limbs which may present as facial paresis or any trophic ulcers or sunken nose, or they may even present with paralysis of muscles of hands and feet. All this will create a problem for the patient in performing his daily activities. It is essential to know the high risk groups associated with leprosy. People who have poor living conditions, poor nutrition and people who are placed in poor environmental situations, they have dysregulated immunity. All this further facilitate leprosy transmission. Children are also believed to be a vulnerable group among leprosy transmission because of their immature immunity. So, the number of new cases in children is a major indicator of instance of leprosy. What are the causes for high risk in leprosy in children? It is mainly due to either of delayed diagnosis or difficulty in assessing the sensory loss in case of children. Moving on to the symptoms. The leprosy patients, they either present with light colored or skin colored patches with decreased sensation, numbness, or may they develop weakness of both hands and feet. So, the diagnosis of leprosy can be mainly done based on clinical examination and also with the help of tests like slit skin smear and skin biopsy where the bacilli can be demonstrated. Now, a question arises. Is it possible to prevent leprosy? Yes, it is. Prevention of contact through the droplets from nasal and other mucosal secretions in patients with untreated lepra infection is presently the best possible way in treating and preventing leprosy. Other methods which include prevention in leprosy are either through vaccination or with the help of usage of prophylactic antibiotics among the exposed persons. Once a diagnosis of leprosy is made, we can classify it as paucibacillary and multibacillary based on the number of lesions, the nerve involvement and demonstration of bacilli and slit skin smear. The recommended standard WHO treatment in leprosy includes the usage of multi-drugs. These drugs mainly include dapsone, rifampicin and clofazimine. The duration and dose of these drugs mainly depends upon the stage of the disease, the age of the patient, or it can be different in the case of pediatric age group. Multi-drug therapy kills the pathogen and cures the disease. Yes, you heard it right. Leprosy is a curable disease. Even the Global Leprosy Strategy 2016 to 2020 was all about accelerating towards the leprosy-free world. Its main targets were creating a zero disability rate among the pediatric leprosy patients and grade 2 disability rate less than 1 per 1 million population. Every year, the theme for World Leprosy Day emphasizes the need to end the discrimination regarding the leprosy and also the stigma created due to leprosy, because this will help in early case detection rate and also will help in moving towards a leprosy free world. It's very clear, once a stigma is created, it results in fear, and fear leads to delayed diagnosis, and delayed diagnosis further leads to development of deformities and disabilities. All these are interlinked. Despite the elimination of leprosy as a public health problem both globally and nationally, and even after achieving considerable success in the fight against leprosy, new cases of leprosy still tend to occur in significant numbers. And India has the highest burden of the disease, with more than 1 lakh new cases being reported every year. So it's very important to create awareness regarding leprosy. Now, briefing up everything, leprosy is a disease which predominantly affects the skin and the peripheral nerves, leading to neuropathy and even long-term consequences such as disabilities and deformities. Once a deformity sets in, there is a stigma created with the disease. Therefore, early diagnosis and guidance regarding proper treatment is essential in reducing the burden of the disease. Finally, let's put an end to the myths associated with leprosy. Leprosy, since ages, has been regarded as a disease due to result of sin or curse. It's completely false. You can't even get leprosy by someone who is passing on the road or even by shaking hands. All these myths, they create social stigma and discrimination that the patient affected with leprosy experience. So, this fear of stigma may even prevent them from seeking medical help. Ending the social stigma and discrimination for leprosy patients and their families is very essential in achieving zero leprosy. So, let's all work in making zero discrimination for leprosy patients a reality. Thank you.